Hi, Karen here from Fit down on the North End, and I wanted to talk about the Pilates principles. There's 5 of them. There's breath, pelvic placement, rib cage placement, scapular placement, and head placement. So let's first start with the breath. So in Pilates, you're gonna inhale through your nose and exhale through pursed lips through your mouth. So you're inhaling to fill up the rib cage and fill up those lungs, right? And then you're exhaling and you're engaging those transverse abdominals or the deep abdominals. So that's why the breathing is as such. Also, inhalation promotes extension. So when you're doing extension postures, you're going to inhale, and exhalation promotes flexion. So when you're doing flexion postures or mobilizing the spine, you're going to want to be exhaling. So next is pelvic placement. So here are the ASIS bones and the bottom of your rib cage, right? So when I'm in neutral, the fingers are pretty separated, right? And I'm in neutral, I have that natural curve in my spine. So when I round or tuck that tailbone under or bring the rib cage and the ASIS closer together, I'm in what's called imprint. So you can see that standing. So let me show you lying down. So I'm hip width apart because you always want to be in alignment when you're doing Pilates. And maybe you want a little towel so you can prop your head up for comfort, because you always want to be in alignment this way as well as this way, right? So here we are. So ASIS right here, bottom rib, tuck your tailbone under, they come closer. This is imprint. And we use this posture with open chain exercises, which are feet are off the mat. A closed chain exercise, feet are on the mat, and you can be in neutral, no problem. But pressing that low back into the mat and going into imprint gives you a lot of stability, which I would like to talk about with the rib cage as well. So the rib cage stabilizes, the abs stabilize the rib cage, and the scaps are connected to the rib cage in the back. So you're engaging your scaps and you're keeping your rib cage flat on the mat. So you don't want it to pop up. And a lot of times when you engage the scaps, it wants to, or when you lift your arms up or as such. So your job is to try really hard to keep that rib cage down on the mat. And in the front, you're knitted in, so you're pulling yourself down. So for me, that means the rib cage down, I have to go into imprint. I can't be in neutral and pull the rib cage down. So everybody's built different. Everybody's gonna run into different situations when they're doing a Pilates mat class. And the ultimate goal with Pilates is to realign you and balance your body out, because we're usually stronger on one side and we're usually more flexible on one side. So rib cage placement, when your rib cage is flat on that mat, you want these knitted in here. So I said that when we were lying down, but I wanted you to see that when I was standing up too. So scapular placement, we're moving on. Here they are, right here, right? So you want to push them down. You always want to push your shoulders down into your back pockets. I like saying that says it well. So your scaps are engaged. So for me, even standing, you don't want that rib cage to pop. You want to pull it back, right? And the scaps are in charge of several different moves. Protraction, reaching forward. Neutral's here. Retraction is pulling back. So with postural issues, a lot of us, I need to retract to even kind of be normal. I'm really pulling back. Also, elevation and depression. So a lot goes on with the scaps, but with every exercise, you want to engage those scaps always. So next would be head placement. Okay, so the cervical spine also has a natural curve. Okay, so you always want that level, and you always want that in alignment with the thoracic. And so when you're moving in different exercises, like say extension, come back to neutral, flexion, let's say rotation, or lateral flexion, the head always stays neutral with the rest of the body. Okay, so if you're lying down, a lot of clients or a lot of us need a little padding to keep our head level, you know, because otherwise my head is back a little bit. So you often have to use props for this one. Okay, so let's move on to some of the lingo. So first we'll deal with tabletop. Very popular, right angle here, right angle here. A lot of exercises in Pilates are done starting from tabletop. You can lengthen the legs out. You can come back into tabletop. So let's talk about that closed chain, open and closed chain exercise. So here I am in tabletop. I need the imprint. So now I'm going to come into upper body curl. I'll inhale to prepare, exhale, curl up. So reaching those arms nice and long. Everything is always long and strong in Pilates and controlled. So you're really pulling your belly button and pushing your shoulder blades down. Nothing's easy. Engaging your glutes. You will often hear me say engage your glutes more than often. Engaging the pelvic floor, which means if you were peeing and I told you to stop, that pulls all these deep muscles into play. Now, my neck is starting to get a little bit tense. I can put my hands back here in what's called head float, or relax all the way down on the mat. So whenever you're doing Pilates, it's never okay to experience pain. It's okay to feel a little bit uncomfortable because that happens a lot, but it's not okay to feel pain. So that's, you know, some of the lingo and the fundamentals, and I hope that will help you in the videos to come. And I'll try and explain as much as I can within a video, but this way you might have a little bit of a head start on some of the terms. So I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you.